Alright, so for today's lesson, this is for designed for 8th graders, and it's going to be over solving two variables in a linear equation. To start out, we just have a problem up here, and the problem states, our task is to distribute all of the 380 oranges among 85 students so that each boy gets 4 oranges and each girl gets 5 oranges. How many of the students are boys and how many are girls? So to start out, we're going to make two different equations going on here. First of all, we're going to need to pick what boys are going to be represented by and what girls are going to be represented by. For this particular problem, we're going to use the number of boys is going to equal x, and we're going to have the number of girls equal y. For that part, we need to solve to see how many boys and girls we have. We know that our total number of kids is 85, so we're going to write 85, and we know that whatever we have has to equal that. So to get that number, 85 students, we have boys and girls, so we're simply going to go number of boys plus the number of girls. Our second equation is going to consist of how many oranges each boy and girl have. So for this one, we know that 4 oranges per boy. So we're going to get 4 oranges per boy, oranges boy, plus the number of oranges a girl gets, which is 5 per girl. So we're going to do that times the number of girl. And that number is going to be linked back up to the number of oranges that we have for the entire class, which is 380. So there we have it, our two problems. X plus y equals 85 and 4x plus 5y equals 380. The first thing we need to do is solve for one or the other. So we'll pick this one here and we'll solve for x first. So to do that, we'll just rewrite the problem over here. So we have x plus y equals 85. Now, what we're going to do is we have to subtract y alone. We need to get x all by itself. So we're going to subtract the y from each side. And our new problem is going to look like this. X is equal to 85 minus y. So that is what our new problem looks like, and that's solving for x. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and plug it into this equation here. So this is what our new x is going to represent, is 85 minus y. So to rewrite our problem, we now have 4 times where this x is, so we're just going to change those, which is 85 minus y plus the number of girls. And that number is still going to equal, not change, 380. Now, with that being said, we have all of our variables plugged in and ready to go with our new equation. So we're going to distribute, and that's going to do 4 times the 85, and 4 times 85 is 340, minus, we got to distribute the 4 there too as well, 4y, and then we just plug the rest of this back in, plus 5y equals 380. Now that we're at that point, we just combine like terms and solve for y. So we're going to subtract 340 from each side. Up right there. And our new problem, and we'll do that first. We'll do one step at a time here. So that's going to equal 0. We now have 4y plus 5y equals So now what we have to do is just combine like terms, and negative 4y plus a positive 5y is going to equal y equals 40. We now know that y equals 40. Once we have that, we're going to take that y and just plug it back into one of our original equations. I would pick this one first. So we're just going to take that guy and put him on adventure up here. I'm going to erase this work over here so we can show that process now. So just like we did with our x, which was 85 minus y, how we plugged it in here, we have to now plug the y in up here, which is that. So now our problem is x plus, and because we solved for y, we now can plug that in up here, is now equal to 85. That number never changes. So now our new equation is x plus 40 equals 85. So now what we do is now we just solve for x. So we're going to subtract 40 from each side. And our new problem is now looking like this. X equals 85 minus 40 is 45. So, after all the equations have been worked out, we know that y, which was the number of girls, equals 40, and x, the number of boys, equals 45. Despite we have these numbers does not mean that we have the correct answers, however, so we're going to go back and plug them in and see if we can get those numbers and make sure they write up. So I'm just going to write for x over here equals 45, and for y we equal 40. That's how that looks there. So now I'm just going to go back through and erase these. And now we're just going to go back and plug our numbers in. So we had 4 x. You can choose either one of these equations. I'm just going to use this one here. It just shows things a little bit clearer what's going on. We'll plug it back into this one to make sure. X and if we have the right number, x and y should make both these statements true no matter what one. So we have 4x plus the 5y, and that was to equal 380. Now all we do is just plug these numbers in. So 45 was what x equaled, and the 40 is what y equaled. So we're going to have 4 times 45 plus our girls 5 times our number 40. And this is all going to equal, if done correctly, 380. So 4 times 45 is, we'll do that on the side here, so we'll just line up. You can use a calculator if you have one, but we'll do it like this. 5 times 4 is 20, bring that up. 4 times 4 is 16, plus our 2 is 180. So our new number here is 180 plus our 5 times 40. So we'll do that one over here. 0. 0 times 5 is 0, and 5 times 4 is 20, plus 200. And this is all still equal to 380. Now we just, hopefully we'll add these together, and if correct, this side should be equal to that side. So 180 plus 200 is 380. And that is equal to 380. They both check out. So that one is good. So that's what that final product there looks like. Okay. So after doing that, we know that this one works. So that's checked for okay. And now we'll just plug this one in this. So x, and your problem is x plus y equals 85. So now we're just going to go back in and plug these into this equation and make sure that it all checks out here. X equals 45, y equals 40, and put together they should equal 85. 45 plus 40 equals, what do you know, 85. So that one checks out as well. So to conclude, on this problem here, we're just going to go, the number of boys in the class is number of boys equals 45. That's the first answer there. And the number of girls is equal to 40. And that is how you solve a two-variable linear equation.